This is Sims, and we are back with more Norn9, and we are still in the Serata kind of part, but I think we're getting closer to the end, so we'll see if we get through it in this part. So, but Serata just kind of went back and saw the past, so saw basically his past life, I guess, if that's what we're going with. So, yeah. We'll see what happens, because I'm still a little... There's some still, like, gray areas that I'm like, I don't really quite know how to piece this together, but anyway. It's probably just me not thinking hard enough about it, but whatever. Anyway. And this is where I was before. And I've come back. And I wonder how long I was beyond the door. I'm starving. How are you still here? Is he a robot? He does have purple eyes. like Ron has I just bashed my microphone, sorry. Like Ron has the purple fake eye. Maybe he's a robot. Because, like, that was, like, 200 years ago or 2,000 years ago. How are you still around? Interesting, anyway. Were you able to gain something from your viewing of the past? You're the scientist that redesigned Ion. How are you still alive? You're human, aren't you? Human? I'm unsure how to answer that. In my generation, if you became a cybernetic organism, you weren't given human rights. So he's just... This is when the robots take over, bitches! Oh my god, he's a robot and he's pretending to be human. This is how it starts. And my brain is lines of code, and my thoughts and memories are all based on the original Shiro Yuiga. And I'm now here before you, moving. Oh my god, that's some fucked up shit. That explains a lot, though. Should have seen that coming, but... Well, I mean, I did say before, like, what in the last part? I'm like, is he a robot? He's a robot. Interesting. This is the future, guys. We're going to be like, you're going to live forever. Not really you. Your body's going to die, but you're just going to be a cybernetic organism. Like, I'm basically a robot walking around, and I remember everything. And, oh, you know, I'm getting a little time to download myself into a new body. I'm not saying that kind of wouldn't be interesting, but would you get bored after a while? I don't know. Oh, would you still consider me a human? This is fucking cool. And did you restructure your body so that you could be around long enough to see the one you love? Yes. I wonder which model this body is now. You went through so many just to see her? Yes. Although, I also wanted to satisfy my curiosity as a scientist. You're curious as well, right? You wish to see how your creation will affect the world and humanity in the future. That's not the right thing to do! You may be correct, but the world we live in isn't so harsh that it would not forgive a few mistakes, am I right? Why are you scattering weapons across this time period? Why would you do such a thing? To stimulate civilization. I'm sowing the seeds to hopefully reap the world that I want to manifest. I mean, that's kind of why Natsuhiko is trying to get rid of weapons. Even if you made the exact same world, that isn't going to bring your loved one back. You don't know that. You yourself are proof that it's possible, Sarada Suzuhara. The only human I respect is you. You created Ion, gave her human feelings, and have been reborn into the world again. He's like, I'm 12. There's a lot of fucking shit to put on a poor 12-year-old. You're my only hope. He's Obi-Wan. Don't say such selfish things. I don't know a thing about you. And so what if I share the same DNA as someone you knew before? You guys are all insane. There's no way a reset could possibly make the world a better place. And that's not true either. For a period of time, war really does stop. Of course, it needs the help of Ion and the island's scientists. No, he needs to cease to exist, and then we wouldn't have to, and then we could get rid of the weapons somehow. Like what we did in Natsuhiko's route, right? He died, we got rid of the weapons, and everything was good again! And the Heisei generation you lived in is one where we experimented by limiting the direct influence of the world. It was the period most like the First Era. I'll reference the history you know so you can understand things easier. In reality, even if the reset didn't occur, humanity is essentially remaking history. The Meiji Restoration is a prime example. From sovereignty to the class system, culture, everything was changed from the roots up. Aside from the violence, that is a shining example of a nation's progress. When does a country truly peak? When does a country hit its industrial revolution? What defines a nation? It's all tied to war. But the reset is a bloodless revolution. Its ways to its way to sidestep nuclear war and environmental destruction. Well then, if you think the reset is such a great idea, then stay out of everyone's way. But by interfering, you show that you only care about your own selfish desires. True. You're right. I was simply explaining the reset to you from a scientist's perspective. Personally, I feel that it occurs too frequently to be useful. I never expected the reset to happen this many times. Ion should have broken down long ago. But her heart and love for Sarada Suzuhara is what kept her going for so long. Can love really sustain that? Of course. Feelings can provide boundless amounts of energy, and this is why a robot with Aine's heart became the foundation for Ion. But as long as this continues, the world I desire will never come to be. I have terms that need to be met. You're the embodiment of hope for me, but... It makes you kind of not hate him, but you kind of... Well, okay, so for this. Where you're kind of like... You kind of see what he's so desperate, and that's why he's doing... He's not just doing horrible things to be a douchehole. He's like, I need to make humanity suck so that I can bring my life back. It's not how it works. It's not how any of this works. You're almost like, oh, I almost don't think you're a douchehole. I mean, you are pretty, so... guess I'd forgive you. And the man drew a gun. He's pointing the gun at me. You're going to kill me? I'm sad that we aren't able to celebrate our reunion. If Ion didn't let you escape, we wouldn't have had to go through this hassle. Let me escape? She must have wanted to protect you from myself and the scientists of this island. I didn't think she'd hide you on the Norn. I don't really have much time left either. I have many available bodies to transfer to, but my brain has its limits. So much data accumulates just from being alive. Sights, smells, sounds, sensations. Emotion is a particularly heavy data load. And the memories from when I lived as a human are unimaginably strenuous. It pushes the system load to the brink of collapse. If I don't discard my emotions, it'll be hard to continue operating. If you do that, then your existence would be pointless. And the main reason you've stayed alive for so long is to reunite with your lover. And that's right. It'll all be pointless. However, I don't have any choice. The self-preservation program has reached its limits. I'll have to fully become a machine. I like to set things straight before I lose me. I don't know anything about this person. This person said this should be a reunion. This is my first time meeting him. Even though I'm not familiar with him, I could still sense a feeling of weariness from him. I'm also getting vibes of self-abandonment. He's much older than I am, and I couldn't help but feel very sorry for him. Such is the ways of life as children. They're like, wow, being an adult sucks. It does. It really does. There's some things that are fun. You can eat ice cream for dinner if you really want. But then you gain 32 pounds, like, overnight, and then you're sad. So then you eat more ice cream, and you get another 30 pounds. And then, you know. And then you end up with diabetes. That sucks. You've already lost your humanity. Machines are governed by programs. You're not a human. That may be true. The me that stands before you now is no more than a program. It's too late for me. I'm aware that it's a vain struggle. I'll let you in on my original plan. Of course, because you can't be an evil villain without extrapolating your plan. I wanted to scatter all the espers to multiple countries and make them tools for war. The countries with espers would expand by taking smaller countries, and they would have booming industries to advance. It's a much more certain method than me going around selling weapons. However, I would leave Koharu by my side. Her powers are enormous. I would use her judiciously to fuel the war. I'd stop the reset and take the power of the world. I don't need all the espers. I'd be fine with just Koharu alone. If there's even a glimmer of hope, I might be able to keep me intact. Your plan is utter idiocy. I don't know much about the reset or the world, but all the espers are friends. They may bicker, but they never go to war against each other. I don't know what kind of power Koharu has, but Koharu would never go around firing up wars for you. It's just not her. That's not true. We know that happened. So just stop all this. If you can't even comprehend the fundamental flaws in your plan, you're already not a human. And there's no point in continuing on a path that you know is going to fail. Don't burden an entire generation with your futility. Dude. Your eyes. Huh? They're honest. They're the eyes of someone who has never committed a crime. There's nothing scarier than that. You don't understand. Meeting the one person you could give your whole life to, the one you devote every fiber of your being to, and the other despair of losing her. I mean, we're all gonna have to go through that at some point, maybe. Most people. Some people. Probably not me. But still, dude, we don't put ourselves in cybernetic bodies hoping they'll be reborn and just being sad for eternity. You're just sad for a long time. Until you die. But that's what you're supposed to do. Go into the light, Shiro. Anyway. The thrill of your creation rebuilding the entire world. And the fear of wiping out everything humans had built up. The constant crippling physical pain. And the emptiness of your heart. Any of these could easily make a person go insane. And this all started simply because I wanted to see the person I loved one more time. But after putting the reset into motion, I, as a scientist, desired to confirm that my course of action was the proper one. The heart is a scary thing. Emotions are spiraling out of control. Like, he looks so sad. Like, he's crazy, but you're like, I kind of feel bad for him. Don't you? Wow. Man, you're like the evil villain. We're supposed to hate you. And you're like, oh, but I kind of, oh. No, I mean, you're still psycho. But like, aw. However, the scariest thing is that even these emotions have their bounds. I can't do it. The fact that I'm coming clean to someone like you is a sign that this is truly the end for me. Maybe I was wrong to say you weren't human anymore. And I didn't realize that people could ever go this crazy. Humans are the opposite of animals. Animals thrive on instinct. We rely on emotions, and that's why we give life to insanity. Even if I didn't create weapons, I know the result would be the same. No matter how many times we performed a reset, war kept repeating. As the man responsible for the world culture reinitialization plan, I can give the answer. Woo, so he's behind it all. The reset was wrong. It's time to cede control back to humanity and let them do as they wish. But in order to do that, blood must be shed. As long as I'm still me, I'll continue on with my useless resistance. So that actually makes sense. He created this whole idea. We have to do this so he could reset time to go back and start up to try to, as a scientist, get the world back to where it was, to give the right, I don't know sciencey terms, but I know what I'm thinking. Like, you would think, why would he want to reset time? But I want to reset time because if we reset everything, then his wife could be reborn. And eventually, but like if time continued on, she probably wouldn't be. So you're trying to basically reset so that time goes back, and then the things that led up to your wife being born, all of history, would just reset. But it's so weird because it's like, but if you believe in reincarnation and the fact that she would be reborn eventually if you did the reset or not. But he's trying to set up the exact, so if we do that and we reboot, and it's like, you're basically trying to rewind to make it happen sooner and to guarantee it happens by influencing the world, which is just fucking weird. I don't know. I don't think you needed to go to all that trouble. If you really believe that she would come back, you just... But I mean, then I guess you're just waiting and he's trying to be proactive about it, so... With a crazy, weird idea. The whole thing's crazy, but I like it. It's crazy, but... You have the power to fix Ion. So long as she continues to live, this cycle would continue. So why did you come all this way to talk to me? You should have killed me right away if I'm an obstacle to you. And I'm guessing that the reason you didn't is because somewhere in your heart, you'd already given up, isn't it? Like, this 12-year-old talked this dude down. Here are some words of advice. I guess you could say that this is to unburden myself. Because this would be the second time I'm killing a scientist whom I respect. The second time? Let me guess. The scientist who created Ine didn't perish in an accident. It was your doing, wasn't it? You bitch, you killed me? I'm sure Ion knew this. And then she's like standing somewhere. I know Ion better than anyone. After all, we're all using the same basic programming. The reason Ion's life is coming to an end is not from degradation due to age. It's because her heart has worn down. There are two ways to destroy Ion. You can use the fire which deletes all civilization, and the other is to kill her heart. Kill her heart? I see. It's because Ion is using her emotion as an energy source. Ion stood in front of me to protect me from the man's gun. Ine! Huh! How rare of you, Ion, to see you make such a futile maneuver. Your body no longer has substance. You cannot act as this boy's shield. Did he just fucking shoot me? That one barely grazed me, but I'm in a bad position right now, and I need to do something quickly. Well, he went into that, but where the fuck is everybody else? Oh, we stayed here and everybody else went back to the ship probably, but we were all here talking about which one we want to go into, and then we went into the past door and everybody left us? Makes no sense, but... His person is made from the same structure as Ion, so they have the same structural flaws. His heart and the flames are his weakness. His heart is wavering, so his program is degrading? Then I might have a chance. Shall we get this over with before the other Espers return? I won't let you! McIntyre, I'm surprised. How did you make it here? Did you destroy all the dolls? Were those supposed to stop us? You will need to do much better than that. Even the guys can take care of that with no problem. Fucking hard. Even the boys can handle that bullshit. Jesus, you thought it was gonna stop us? Little bitch. Whoa, this is bad. There's a crap load of them. Yeah, I hope the 3 of them get back soon. Even the boys can handle it. Hey, she's like, I can't. But we don't have much time. We need to finish this quickly and go back. Traveler! Koharu, what's the meaning of that flame? Do you intend to kill me? Who's the one that named you? Who helped you by providing knowledge to nourish your lonely soul? I'm fine with just fulfilling my objective. If you destroy Ion with those flames of yours, and then I'll retreat. Koharu! I'm serious! Traveler, please leave! I see that your serious intent is not so serious, and you still haven't killed me. Oh, what a disappointment. I'm immeasurably disappointed. Dejected, Shiroyuiga lowered the gun that he had aimed at me, and then he left with a melancholy expression on his face. I think he probably wanted to be destroyed because it would be probably an instant death versus now you're just going to slowly, you know what I mean? I may be wrong, but to me, it looked like he actually wanted to be killed. For him, Koharu was the key to his plans. To be denied like that. Because, it'd be like, oh, I'm going to fight instant death or slowly degrading and losing your shit over time. Like, yeah. You know you're slowly degrading and you're going to but you're going to end up shutting down, basically, because he's a robot, right? But, like, the flames would be instant death, cease his programming, and be easy. Like, he was trying to take the easy way out. Death by cop. Suicide by cop, basically. Suicide by Koharu. Like. Aww. This is like super romantic and he's like 12. It's kind of creepy. Like, I'm not the person you were waiting for. But I want to be with you. I won't go anywhere. So, please, you can speak now, Aine. As she slowly parted her lips. I also would like to stay with you, Sarada. I would like to continue to live with you. Whose hand is that? Is that... Ian had begun malfunctioning, her beautiful voice being one of the casualties. And I wanted to do something, but I knew that there was nothing more I could do. I think that was the other Sarada. Like, there was like somebody's hands on her head, right? People of the island said that the reason she lived as long as she did was thanks to me, but I wanted to be with Aine for much longer. And I was surprised by how much I cried. I haven't cried this much since I was a baby. That's so sad. You kind of did want her to, like, survive, and then, like, they show that down the road, and, like, he's all grown up, and they're like, oh, he's happy with his little robot love. It'll be adorable, but, man, it's kind of sad. But she did, like, cease functioning in all the other endings that we heard about her, and anyway. and dried my throat and gave me a huge headache. And I asked Itsuki and Masamune if this is what a hangover felt like, and they had a good laugh. And the time I got to spend with Aine on the ship wasn't very long at all, but the time I got to spend with her here was apparently incredibly long. Well, I don't remember much, but Aine's song, it stuck in my head like a child's lullaby. Aine's song felt like proof of the time that we spent together.
Sarada, what are you doing?
Meditating.
AC, is it okay if I join you?
I was about to say that meditation is something people tend to do alone, but I stopped myself, and nothing good could come from denying Koharu. Hey.
Yes? What is it?
You came here because you wanted to talk about something, right? Just spit it out.
But you're meditating.
It's okay. You don't have to walk on eggshells. I'm younger than you. Koharu has always been like this. She treats me with respect, but she's actually my elder. So, what's going on? In age, but not really elder. You're 2,000 years older than her.
I came to tell you that everyone else is planning on what everyone else is planning on doing from here on out.
And I was curious about this.
Not everybody has decided now, but basically, they were separated into those who chose to stay on the island and those who wouldn't.
I see. I figured everyone would stick together since we all get along so well.
It might get lonely, but I think that it's difficult to always be with others.
I thought those words were gold coming from someone like Koharu. I thought Koharu would grieve the most about separating.
We are all different people, and we all live different lives, but we can still lean on each other. I'll leave the island. I'll go somewhere where nobody can make use of my power.
Everybody decided against the reset, or rather, the choice was made for them. Aine stopped functioning just a few days after we arrived at the island. Without her to perform the reset, the Espers couldn't return their powers. If we just arrived a little earlier, it'd be different. This is just a hunch of mine, but I think this is what Aine had planned all along. Aine had observed the girls having fun and being happy all this time aboard the ship, and I think she'd been wishing for everyone's happiness to continue forever. And moreover, she might have been against the reset. She might have wanted to simply stall for time until she came to a stop. Well, that's all just a theory, one that I can no longer confirm.
So Sarada, what are you planning to do now?
Hey, can you not just toss that question out so casually? I just discovered that I'm one of the most unfortunate souls in the world, and I'm still super young. And I thought I simply went back in time and lost everyone I knew. But now that I've learned that I've been stuck in a cold sleep for millennia. So it's kind of rude for you to ask that when I have so much stuff to process, okay?
I'm sorry. That was thoughtless of me.
Koharu bowed her head many times. Of course, everything I said was a lie. I don't think I'm unhappy or unfortunate at all. I had parents, but I didn't get along with them. I really didn't have any friends to speak of. Oh, that's true. I still have the right to feel sad over those revelations about my life. And that's true, because if you found yourself in that situation, you'd be like, oh my god. You'd have to stop and logically go, but like now, if you all of a sudden found yourself 2,000 years in the future, you'd be like, oh, my family and everything. Because but if you were in Sarada's place where you didn't get along with your parents and you're like, basically they had a kid and they forgot that I exist. They don't even give a shit. So he's probably kind of indifferent to them. Like, I'm supposed to love my parents, but I'm kind of indifferent to them, right? And he has no friends, and his life was all about learning and science and all that stuff, and like his research and all that stuff. At 12, finding yourself 2,000 years in the future, you'd be like, actually, if I think about it logically, I'm not really sad because I don't have anybody to miss, really. But you're 2,000 years into the future, and you're like, everything I know is a lie, and I can't go back. And there'd still be that, even if you were logically like, it's cool, actually, I'm not missing anyone. Got no one to miss. Everything that I need is right here in me. You'd be okay with it, but you'd still be grieving that because it's still just a huge fucking upset in your life, and it's just still a huge change, and you're like, fuck, what? You know? So even though logically you have no reason to be upset, and deep down inside you're probably not, there's still that surface level of like, my whole life just got turned upside down. But I'm not the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The fuck? You know? Anyway. I was shocked at first, but I know it's true. My feelings are fading away with my old memories. To me, there's past, and there's just now. Even still, it's not like I'm completely unfeeling, so I deflected my anger onto Koharu. Her profuse apologies made me feel bad. I'm just kidding. I'm fine. You didn't hurt my feelings, so don't worry.
Don't worry. That's impossible. All I do is worry.
Seriously. Yeah, it feels a bit weird having someone worry about me so much.
It's all my fault.
If those words come out of her mouth, I'm just gonna rage quit. Because she blames herself for everything. But this is how Koharu always is. She's weird, but totally genuine. If Koharu didn't exist, I would have never gone on that ship. I would have never reunited with Aine. Because Koharu existed, and because she pulled me forward, and that's why I'm still here. I still haven't thanked her for everything, but I'm too young to really have the social graces to make it not such an embarrassing task.
Hey, Sarada, I have a favor to ask.
What?
Can you come with me?
Come with you? To where?
Let's see. Maybe we could go back to where I used to live. Oh, wait. If we go back there, we might get caught.
Caught? By who? Are you being chased?
We'd probably go somewhere far away.
Far? You seem like you don't really have a plan. Why do you want to go far away? You should just return home and live a peaceful life.
You see, it's not that easy.
Why not?
The people of the island told me I should use my powers for the world.
The world? As in Aine? Why would they tell you that? Aine's already stopped.
I don't really know the details either, but apparently there are small-scale wars popping up in certain areas, and they requested that I use my powers to go and stop them.
Koharu's powers are certainly amazing, and they're perfect for stopping bad people. But wouldn't that be impossible for you?
Right? There's no way that I could do something like that.
Yeah, because you're like a child who goes to sleep as soon as it gets dark.
I don't think that matters, but thank you. They told me I have to suppress the fights before the wars spread. They said that if I fight, I'll be protecting those precious to me. But I don't see the difference between the lives of my precious ones and the people at war. For example, let's say I have to hurt people to stop the wars.
Koharu, though she seemed like she was sad, put a smile on her face and pushed forward with her example.
Maybe if I do that, then the people that are important to me will be protected. However, the people I hurt could be someone important to another person.
She's like the smartest. She's stupid as shit, but she's having a Heishi moment here where you're like, you are so fucking dumb, but every once in a while, wise shit comes out of your mouth, because that's the truth. I'm gonna kill this person, but that person's important to someone else. Like, just because, like, but it's such a, like, people don't realize something simple like this. I don't agree with what you're saying, so you can't do that. Every fucking argument in the history of existence is the same thing. Like, look. There are laws that we put in place, like murdering people is wrong, because you don't get the right to kill someone else. Okay? That's wrong. But, I mean, you're stunting my right to murder people. Well, because it's, like, you're hurting someone else. It's not like, you can insult someone if you want. You emotionally hurt them and you're just a douche. But murdering someone is taking away someone else's, like, you're like, but then there's so many, I mean, there's so many things and there's so many details that you just can drill down. But the point is, it's exactly that. I'm going to do what I want. I think that nobody else should be allowed to do this because I don't agree with it. Yeah, but what the values that you have in your life are different than other people, and you don't get the right to tell other people what they can and can't do, aside from the gray areas of, like, okay, so, like, I don't like Tom and Tom's a dick. I don't get to stab him because I don't like him. I just avoid him because I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but everybody thinks everything. Well, I don't like mom jeans, so they should be banned because I don't like them. No! I just don't wear them because I don't like them. More power to all the people who love them. You know what I'm saying? But, like, every little thing breaks down into this. Like, I don't believe that this should happen. So, I am turned on by girls' shoulders, so I don't think teenage girls should be allowed to show their shoulders because boys will get turned on. Well, maybe boys should learn how to keep their dicks in their fucking pants and not blame girls' shoulders for why they're douchebags. Just serious. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to take personal responsibility. They want to blame everybody else. That's like a whole other tangent, but But it's exactly this. I'm going to stop the war. But she's right. She's like, just because nobody's good or bad. Everybody, like, this side has X amount of good points and Y amount of bad points. This side has X amount of good points and Y amount of bad points. You just are never going to see eye to eye fully. Well, that doesn't mean you start murdering people. Like, just like, look, I don't have to deal with you. You're right, you don't have to deal with me. Bye. Or, you know what I mean? Or you just talk it out. Like, more women should be in shit, because women would just talk it out. Or just be like, I'm not talking to that bitch because she pissed me off. Men are like, I'm gonna blow them up because they pissed me off. Like big balls. Yeah, I'm tough. Passive aggressive is sometimes better. I really don't know. But like, could you just imagine? Like, whatever. I don't like her. She's being a bitch. We're not talking to her. I don't care if she's in the room with me. Like, I don't care if she can hear me. She can go fuck herself. Oh my god, those rooms would be fucking hilarious to watch. With, you know, but I mean, that's like the stereotypical thing. Shit, I'm sure someone's done skits like that, and we need to watch those, because now they'd be funny. Anyway. But, like, leave it to, like, scatterbrains to come up with, like... Again, her and Heishi, dumbest fucking people. Come up with some of the smartest shit sometimes. You're like, wise moments in the otherwise empty heads. Oh, dear God. Stop that. You're feeling like you've already hurt these people. It's just an example. You wouldn't do something like that. And that's exactly it. It's all my fault because... Oh, dear God, stop. But she's already feeling guilty about a theoretical situation. Kawaru stayed silent and said nothing. Could she be talking about Shiro Yuiga? She said that they've known each other since she was much younger. I hesitated to ask. If it was true, it was likely a painful memory for Kawaru. That's why I want to run away from fighting. I know I'm weak, and I feel bad. But see, that's the thing, though. Oh, they're making her feel bad about actually being like, no, that's wrong. Like, if these people are choosing, and I know that war is bad, but these people are choosing to fight between themselves. If I get in there and hurt other people, I know that that's the wrong thing to do, because those people are good people. And they have people that love them, and the other people on the other side are good people that have people that love them, and I'm not going to take sides on this. Like, and it's like, oh, you're an asshole, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes sitting on the sideline, not like watching with like popcorn or anything, but being like, look, sometimes I'm not going to get involved in this because it's a no-win situation for you. There are times where in any debate, anything that you were going to go 100% side with this side, or I'm siding with that side. And there's other times where you're just going to sit there on the fence and be like, I mean, both sides have a really good point, and both sides are kind of stupid at the same time. Hold on. But not every time you can take sides. Sometimes you're just like, I mean, I don't know. And sometimes it's better to just be like, I can't make a decision. I'm just going to leave. You don't always have to take a side. There are sometimes no-win situations. And this is a no-win situation for her. She's like, no. Actually, the side for her is, I am not going to support either side doing this work because I don't support this shit. You know what I mean? She can support the people and be like, I hope these people can come to a resolution because they're hurting innocent people and I feel bad for both of them. But she's feeling guilty because people are making her feel guilty about, like, you need to take a side. No, you don't. You don't always need to do it. Sometimes you're like, look, I can't do that because you can see both sides. Sometimes it's okay to be a fencer. I'm a fencer all the time. Like, I swear to God, I'm usually, like, I'd sit there and be like, I can kind of see both sides. A lot of times, not all the time. There's sometimes I'm like, okay, that side is just so far fucking out in left field, you're fucking insane, and I don't know what's wrong with you. And other times you're like, I mean, I guess I can, this is what I believe, but I mean, I can kind of understand where they're coming from on the other side. That gets in dangerous topics when you talk to people, and you're like, I mean, I can kind of oh my God, I'm not saying I side with them, because they're wrong as fuck. But I'm just saying I see the logic, as stupid as it is, in what they're saying. I can see where they came to that conclusion. Dumb as fuck, but, like, I don't know. Like conspiracy theories, right? Sometimes you're like, I can understand why people would believe this, because, I mean, if you stop and think about it, it's possible. I'm not saying that you believe them and you're like, oh my God. There are FBI agents watching all of us. We all have an FBI agent assigned to us. But you're like, man, if we did. Mine gets a real kick out of all the bullshit that comes out of my mouth, I'm sure. That poor person. Their life sucks. They gotta deal with me.
But you know what I mean? But it's like sometimes fun because you're like, oh, interesting. I'm not saying like, oh, I totally believe it. I'm 100% believe it. But you can kind of go, oh, well, that's not really a good one, but you know. The only other one I could come up with, aliens. Well, there are some really good plausible things where you're like, well, here's a reason why there's no such thing as aliens. But then here's the things that would make it more sense that there were aliens, and I don't know what to believe. Do we? Don't we? So conspiracy theories are kind of fun like that because you're like, I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to talk about them, and sometimes you're like, that's insane. But like, you have the people who are like, no, 100%, man. I swear to God, Earth is totally flat. And then you have the people like, oh my God, that's total bullshit. I mean, it's total bullshit, but that one's total bullshit. The Earth is not fucking flat. I mean, but then you have to stop and go, so you really think that NASA, everything is everything, every picture from space, all of that's bullshit? What is the point of that government conspiracy to do that? What? It's a world conspiracy. Why? Why? What perpetuated in your mind the theory that the whole entire world government, all the world governments like what got together and were like, okay, so the world is flat, but we don't want people to know. So let's just fake this. We'll fake NASA. We'll do a... Why? How? Why? Where is like, I mean... But it's fun to think about because you're like, wow, that shit's crazy. That's insanity. Again, I don't believe the Earth is flat. That's one of the stupidest fucking conspiracy theories, but... God. Anyway. Oh. But in general, you know what I'm saying? Like, conspiracy theories, you're like, sometimes they're fun. Like, aliens. Maybe there's aliens. Are there FBI agents watching us? That's kind of funny. You don't really believe it, but you can entertain the thought sometimes and have fun with it. So it's like, you could... But that's like being in the middle. You're like, I mean, I don't believe it, but at the same time, if you think about it, you're like, oh, man, okay. So, like, let's just put this in a scenario and be like, okay, so yeah, sure. I mean, I guess I can see where people are crazy and think that. And then there's other shit like Flat Earth where you're like, I just don't understand how stupid you are. I'm like, shit, if the world turned out to be flat, you'd be like, I don't understand why people thought this was a thing to hide from. I don't understand that. How does that work? I don't know. Anyway, I just... We should just record this whole part again.
The value of human life. I don't know the different values of life from person to person. I guess I am just a cold person.
Oh, dear God. Just feel... You just want to slap her sometimes because she's just so easily manipulated into feeling guilty about everything.
I think that's fine. I don't think you should have to force yourself to put different values on human lives. Actually, shouldn't a life be as good as another life? I don't think you're a cold person. You're just too nice. Did you discuss this with him?
Huh?
And by him, I meant the man she loved, of course.
I like it that they don't tell you which him it is. It's just, they just let you... I would assume that this would go down the canon kind of path, and the him would be Kakeru, because that's their canon boy.
And that reaction tells me that you haven't.
But they don't give you one or the other, so that you could be like, oh, for Koharu, my favorite with her was this person, and then, like, so they don't tell you who it is to purposely let you fill that in. I kind of like that.
I was going to tell him, but he couldn't muster up the courage to do so.
Stupid. It'll be fine. He'd never tell you to go and fight.
I know, but still.
I'm not sure what you're so worried about, but I know he'd be happy if you talked to him.
I know that Kakeru is her canon path, but I'm just going to put her with Senri in this one because that was the best relationship for her. Kakeru's too manipulative, and that's really fucking creepy with how goddamn 6-year-old her mind is. And Masamune is just really creepy with how 6-year-old her mind is. And both of those make me feel creepy and icky because she is literally mentally younger than Sarada, who is fucking 12. Of course, he's like mentally 35. So, like, I don't even fucking know. He's like mentally 50 over here. Like, this kid's like about 5 minutes away from needing a walker. That's how old he is mentally.
Wait, you haven't even mentioned to him that you asked me to come along, huh? That's not good.
Yes, I'm sorry, but he can't just leave you all alone.
Ah, jeez, this girl. She'd definitely be the first to die in battle.
Sarada, always so nice to his friends.
I can imagine her being kind to enemy soldiers. And besides, I wouldn't leave this place anyways. Aine is here.
You're right.
She probably figured I'd say that. And she wasn't surprised. She just nodded sadly. She seems to be really concerned for me. Oh, well, I am just a kid after all. Hey, the only thing that I have left is right now. So I want to prioritize what I want to do with my time now.
Okay.
I want to see Heine, no matter how many years it takes. I want to hear Heine sing again.
He's basically just become old Sarada.
Okay.
I may still be young, but I'm still a man. Heine is a girl and she needs help. So what kind of man would I be if I abandoned her?
He's so adorable.
You're right, Sarada. You are a boy after all.
So you understand now.
I'm sorry.
Koharu, you should leave. You keep hold of that desire of never wanting to hurt anyone and just go. Heine entrusted the power of fire to you, and I'm sure that would be your wish.
Heine's wish.
I'm sure there were plenty of people who would use that power of fire exactly the way Islanders want and stop the wars. But instead of choosing to give the power of fire to them, Heine chose you. In other words, Koharu, you're Heine's answer and her hope.
Yes, I understand.
Do ya? Because I don't think she does.
Sarada, thank you. I was fortunate to have met you.
The same goes for me, Koharu. Thank you. Okay, that's good, right? You should head on back already. Stop smiling.
Okay.
Koharu trotted off happily. Very happily, sorry. I'm so embarrassed I could die. Heine, that's what you wanted, right? I told her your wishes correctly, didn't I? I once made a robot as a research project during summer break. I received the Prime Minister's Award.
It's funny that they don't really tell you what his project was until now.
But I wasn't satisfied with it, and I thought this would be impossible for me. But it's okay if it's impossible now, right? And I just have to succeed in the future. And I'll stop clutching to what I'm able to do and running from things I think I can't do. And no matter how impossible it seems, I'll bring you back, Heine. And not as some weapon, but as the songstress. It might be a long, long time, but please wait for me, Heine.
That's so cute. Oh, you get 100 points, 150 points for that. Good, we might be able to buy all of our things, so. I think in the gallery it is the etc. ones. Yeah, because I was like, we were missing one, so this is it. So see, like, when you do this, watch. That's, I think, adult Sarada, like, pulling her away from, like, kid Sarada. You know what I mean? That's the original, that's, like, his original, like, we're just gonna leave it, though, on, without the ghost hands, because that's weird. It kind of just distracts, but anyway. So yeah, that was the Sarada Truth route. So what we will do in the next ones is start reading the side stories for all of them, and we'll see how long the parts are, but what I'm thinking of doing is doing all 3 of the side stories, save for Koharu, and then all 3 of the ones for Nanami, and then Makoto, just doing those together, unless they're really long and they have to be apart on their own. I doubt each story is going to be like 30 minutes. I'm thinking they'll be short. So those parts might be 30 minutes. They might be an hour. We'll see what happens in the first one. So my intent is the next part will be Koharu's. We're going to start that. We'll read all 3 of those. Unless they're super long, then maybe we'll just do one each, but one will be their own part, depending how long they are. And so they might, so like I said, so if we get to read all 3 and it's like a 20-minute part, it'll be a 20-minute part. If it's an hour-long part, it'll be an hour-long part. If we only read 2 and it's 40 minutes, okay, great, then we'll just adjust. So we'll have to adjust as we go with those. We'll see what happens. But my intent is to try to read all 3 of the side stories for Koharu and all that. I'll turn on the voice acting for those. So that might end up being a little bit longer because we got to listen to them talk, and then I'll read the lines, and you know it's going to be a train wreck because they're going to stop talking and take really long pauses, and I'm going to think they're done, and then I'm going to start reading, and then they're going to start talking. And so anyway, the voice acting will be on for those, and then what we will do is go through after we do Koharu say 3, we'll go through all of her gallery for all the boys again, and listen to that. maybe we should do, if we read Kakeru's story, then we go through and do all of his gallery again, because we'll get the last CG. I'll see how long the things are, because I actually don't mind if they're short, even if they're 15-minute parts. So it's a short part, maybe I'll just put 2 parts up a day or something. Because it's kind of like, well, if we read, say, Kakeru's story, and then we look through the gallery, and then we read Senri's, and we go through the gallery, and then we do Masamune's, and we go through the gallery, whose little CG do we end on? You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I guess we'll see. If they run like 20 minutes each-ish, maybe we'll just do that. Because I'm not... I don't know. I don't know. Guys, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. We'll see what happens. So I'll figure it out. But yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.